Well, I finally got around to making, starting to make my Eastern hunting frock. I'm making it out of buckskin. I use, but basically loosely use this pattern from Missouri River patterns that I got from Crazy Crow Trading Post. That is basically the frock that I'm using. I've got one out of linen or fustian. I want to make one out of buckskin, and I'm modifying that basic pattern quite a bit. I don't want it exactly like that by any means. And being buckskin and hides and all, oftentimes I can't get a piece big enough for those patterns anyway, so I've got to piece it all together. So right now, I'm going through some scrap here, and I'm figuring out how to get the most strap lacing out of it. And let's see, this cereal bowl here will comfortably give me better than 8 foot of 8 foot of lacing. So now just taking my leather scissors and first of all, you cut out the circle, then you just keep cutting 1/4 inch inside it until you cut out the whole circle. And that'll give you approximately 8 foot of lacing. That's just out of that small soup bowl. You just keep cutting your 1/4 inch off the edge. Which will eventually work you to the center. And of course I can use lacing of every conceivable length. So I'm just taking a lot of scrap. Stripping it up into roughly 1/4 inch wide lacing thongs. Actually, when you're lacing stuff together, a lot of times these shorter pieces are much easier to work with than the longer one. So I'll just continue to work out a bunch of scrap here. I'm going to need it. And we're going to start the assembly. I'm going to take a little bit of barge cement. Kind of help hold some of this in place. We punch the holes and lace it together. A little bit of this can make life go a lot better. Yep. First row.
Huh?
I said my first row of lacing or stitching is together, and check back in a couple of years and I'll see how far along I am. Well, it's rather slowly getting there. I've got the front and the back just about done. I've got this one seam which joins the right front to the rear. I got to punch the holes in it, lace it together, then I will have the front and the back pretty much completed. Just finished the last lace. Hopefully it puts the back and the front together. Yep. Working it. Fitting the right armhole or arm into the opening. I've got the left one fitted in and the gusset getting close on the right. Well, I finally got my Eastern hunting frock finished, made out of buckskin. And it is made out of the hides from old, tough, thick-hided bucks that I thin the hides considerable, and they are heavy. It's a heavy-duty coat. It's a heavy-duty frock. It's not a 90-degree day type of frock. It's going to be going to feel good this fall and winter, especially this winter, to put it on when you layer up, and you put you some wool underneath it, and it's going to be good. Anyway, it turned out pretty good, I think. I think it did. Anyway. I think it turned out pretty good. Matter of fact, I think it turned out really good. Nice big gusseted armpits and stuff like that. I mean, you'll be able to put a ton of clothing on under this thing. It's gonna work out really good. Yep, gonna be fine. Get this down here. You got unrestricted freedom of movement in it. Yep. This all started last fall with the fleshing of the hides. Then I did the video on fleshing, and then the actual brain tanning part of it. Now I got a couple of finished products. I've got my Eastern woodland leggings and my hunting frock. Both of those done. I've got a couple of 3 other projects to do out of them. I had 16 hides, and it took the goodly parts of several of them, 6 or 7 of them. Of course, you got all kinds of scrap left over, good sized pieces, but nevertheless, it takes a lot of hides to make something like this, for Pete's sake. Anyway, I'm looking forward to squirrel season. And right now, this is a cool August 3rd day. Cool compared to what it had been. My God, it's been hot and rainy. Dog days have been miserable. Hot and humid. Right now, the air is cool. It's cool. But it it feels good. The frock feels good today. If it gets up to 90 degrees, it might be a little warmish, but right now it really feels good. So I'm looking forward to doing a little squirrel hunting. And of course, for a bit warmer conditions, you can wear the front completely open. You have it open all the way. That certainly allows for more ventilation. Or you could take belt off completely and you can just wear it loose. It works just fine that way too. Right pleased with the way it turned out. You need help with that. A little tough here. It's got the zoomies evidently. It's been a couple of days since I finished this frock, and I made a couple of more modifications to it. For one, the pattern, that Missouri River pattern, that I loosely followed. The main thing I wanted to follow was to get the front and the back pretty much to the size that I wanted. Then from there out, I made all kinds of modifications. But when I was cutting out that pattern, I noticed something that just didn't look right. Virtually all garments, coats, sweaters, anything else, the top seam, the seam that comes here and goes around the front and down to the armpit, from the top of the shoulder to the armpit, in the front and around the back. Almost any pattern, to get the fit right, this front seam needs to be anywhere from a half to an inch and a half shorter than the back. This back seam goes from the top of the shoulder around the back to the armpit, needs to be longer than the front. Well, on that pattern, it's not that way. It's the exact opposite. And I looked at that and looked at it and looked at it. My little dog is flat enjoying her zoomies out here this morning. It's the exact opposite. And I gave it some serious thought, and I thought, well, even though that's backwards to most any other thing, I mean, if they make the pattern, they must know something that I don't know. I mean, they sell a lot of these patterns. So against my better judgment, I went ahead and followed the pattern. Then when I got the thing all put together, like you see in part of that, you'll see in part of the video when I put it together, as you use it, as you walk around, the whole thing slips to the back. It keeps falling down in the back. It keeps riding up in the front and down in the back. Next thing you know, the back of the collar right here is a foot away from your shoulder, and the the whole thing is just shifting backwards, and you can't keep it from it. The only way you can keep from doing that is put a tight belt on it and don't let it slide down. Well, that ain't right at all. So I thought, oh God, I knew better. But I went ahead and followed the instructions anyway. Don't do that. If you use one of these patterns, for heaven's sake, don't do that. Reverse it. What you're doing is you're creating your arm pit. You're creating the opening for your sleeve. And whatever you do, you want that measurement from the top of the shoulder to the armpit to be shorter in the front and longer in the back. And on that pattern, it's the reverse. And you cannot keep your coat on. It just hikes down in the back, up in the front, and slides down the back. It'll drive you absolutely crazy. Oh my God. You take the two halves of the front and the whole back. That's a lot of leather. That's a lot of buckskin. So gosh almighty. I certainly don't like it the way it is. What am I going to do with it? I got to do something with it. Oh, so I was quite frustrated. And I'm getting ready to go to bed, and I was thinking about that, and I said, I've got to do something. Because what am I going to do? Then I remembered James 1, I believe it's 5th verse. Anyway, James chapter 1, I believe it's verse 5. Said, if any man lacks wisdom, let him ask of God, who freely giveth to all men, and upbraideth not. I got ready to go to bed, and I said, Lord, I know this is a little thing. All the problems and everything that the world got, this is a little thing that's just a hobby of mine and all that. But this is wrong, and I'd like to be able to fix it to where I can enjoy it. I said, if you don't mind, would you give me the wisdom on how to fix this thing? And I went to sleep. Well, I woke up in the morning, and I said, I know how to fix that thing. I know exactly how to fix that without replacing all this leather. I mean, without wasting any of the leather. How can I fix it? And it be just as good as if I'd done what I knew to do in the first place. So anyway, I went and I did this right here. Now I hope that this plainly shows what I have to do. This is the top of the shoulder. This is the seam that comes around the back of your shoulder down to the armpit. This is one that they had entirely too short. Entirely too short. So what I did is I made a 12-inch cut, a straight cut, straight through here. This point and this point were together. This whole thing here was together, and I just made one straight cut. Then I sewed this gusset, Dixie, be quiet. I sewed this gusset in to give me 2 more inches along this seam right here. I lengthened the back shoulder seam, or shoulder to armpit seam. I lengthened it, but making a straight cut, spreading this, and sewing this gusset in. Now what I did on the back, by splitting this, spreading this out, and sewing this diamond-shaped gusset in to lengthen this seam. I had to do the exact opposite on the front. So I had to do exact opposite on the front, where I had to cut this, spread it out, and sew a diamond-shaped piece in to here to lengthen this one on the front. You had to do exact opposite. So on the front, I had to take that diamond shape out to shorten this seam. So right here, I took that diamond shape out. I cut it out and sewed this together. I pulled this where the other I made a straight cut and spread it apart. This I made a diamond cut and pulled it all together. And on the back side, just sew the flat strip to where you could sew this seam together. And that made it fit like it was supposed to fit. Whatever you do, if you get a Missouri River frock pattern, do not follow the instructions on fitting the armpit in the front and the back together. Reverse them. take the dimensions for the front, move that to the back, take the dimensions from the back and move that to the front, or you will not wind up with results that you're looking for. So on the inside of the frock, you can see the gusset itself. This is the gusset. From here to here, that added to the back to lengthen this seam. Go over to the other arm. Here it is. This is the same gusset on the other side, on the left side. All right, and then here is the flat strip where you took that wedge-shaped diamond out of the front shoulder and pulled it all together and sewed that straight seam on that arm and on this arm. That gives you the straight, yeah, if I get it open up here to show you, that gives you this straight seam right here. This is just sewed to that flat strip of buckskin on the back. And the wedge here to spread that one. So you want to lengthen this seam from the shoulder to the armpit. You want to lengthen it on the back. It wants to be longer than the one on the front. And in their pattern, they have it exact opposite. I figured they knew what they were talking about. I mean, I knew it's supposed to be longer in the back and shorter in the front. But oh my gosh, they make this pattern. They know something that I don't know. So, anyway, they didn't. But I mean, it really doesn't matter that seam or that gusset shows it all. However, all the seams are covered by the shoulder cape, all of them. You don't even see them, as if it matters, and it really don't. It doesn't matter if they show or not. But they're all covered by the shoulder. There's the outside, covered by the cape. So after doing those things, it now fits like it's supposed to. It's comfortable. It don't hike up in the front, right down in the back. You can do pretty much whatever you want to with it. It's comfortable. It's comfortable. Now, like I said, the frock, the frock and these Eastern woodland leggings. The Eastern woodland leggings and the Eastern hunting frock are made out of really heavy old buckskins. These were tough old bucks. They had good, heavy, thick hides. And this coat and these leggings, you might say heavy duty. They are out of thick hides. That don't mean they're not soft. They're soft, that's for sure. But, I mean, they're soft, but they're not as soft as if you'd made it out of the doe skins that I've got in there. But these were large buck hides, and it still took several of them, about 6 or 7 of them. I think 7 of them to make the leggings and the frock. I don't know how many of those small doe skins that would take. A bucket load of them, I reckon. But anyway, if you'd used the real thin, velvety, soft doe skin, it would be much lighter and thinner and softer, of course. But these two are what they're supposed to be. They're heavy duty. And being brain tan buckskin, they breathe. I'm out here on an August day, and it's not real hot right now. It's about probably 75, 76, 77 degrees, right along in there somewhere. It's still morning, the day is warming up. This is comfortable. It's not hot at all. Matter of fact, it really feels good. It's a little bit coolish, as opposed to commercial tan. If this was commercial tan buckskin, it would be hot already, because commercial tan buckskin just does not breathe like this stuff. In spite of the fact that this is heavy, thick, heavy hides, they breathe. They breathe. So they tend to keep you cooler in warm weather. And because they breathe, they got all that air trapped in there, they insulate pretty good in the winter, and they make an excellent windbreaker. So good brain tan buckskin is a good thing for all season wear, every bit of it. And this frock turned out very well. Now I did make like I said, from that first day or so, I made a couple of alterations to it. Let me put this fowler down and I'll show you a couple of them. For one, I took those ties off here, and I added deer antler button. Now I've got a button here where it's wrapped around. See how where you got this thing wrapped? It's wrapped all the way around. Where it's good and tight. Okay? And that's because I'm out here and I don't have anything on to speak up, just an undershirt. But when it gets a little bit coolish in the winter, and I've got all kinds of clothes on here, I can wrap it part way, halfway. So I got 2 rows of buttons. So instead of having it wrapped all the way over here and utilizing these buttons, it's now much looser. A lot looser. Matter of fact, if I decide that I'm going hunting and I've got my powder horn, my shooting pouch, and even my shot bag on this side, you got all that stuff, you can wear that on the outside here like you normally would, but for whatever reason, you've got it on your person with a lighter clothes. Then you can just slip this frock on over it, and it's over. Your powder horn, your shot bag, your hunting pouch, and all that. And you can button it right here at this point. So you can wear all your paraphernalia on the outside, or you can wear it under this thing. And of course, you can wear it completely open and loose. Now I'm going to go in there in a little while. Like I said, I've got 3 buttons here, right through here, 3 buttons. Let me put this down a little bit. I got 3 buttons. 1, 2, 3, 4 wearing. Get wrapped around you tight with few clothes on. Then I've got this row that it can be very, very loose. Or if I'm going to put 3 more buttons right here, and it's the same, it's opened up as far as you can get it. It's extremely loose. It's very loose and roomy right there. Then the next stage is just open, wide open. I can use it wide open, button it here, wrap it over to here, and all the way over to here. So I've got, that's a lot of room for clothes. That's a lot of room for growth too, as far as that goes. But anyhow, at it for anyhow. After making those modifications, particularly those to correct what's wrong with that pattern, this frock fits like I want it to. The leggings have always fit like I want them to. So, now I've got heavy buckskin Eastern woodland legging and an Eastern woodland hunting frock. All out of brain tan buckskin. So all that work that I was doing last fall, winter, and spring was to get to this point. I've still got a few more projects to make. Right now I am 100% satisfied with both the legging and the frock. They turned out pretty good. Talk soon.